No wonder no one is watching this dump of a network. No wonder. Most people have no respect for CNN. Is it really that hard to tell the truth? Is it really that difficult to be honest? Maybe lying is an addiction. Maybe polishing the turd is CNN's substance of choice. Maybe they just think we're stupid. Maybe they're under the impression that we will believe that our eyes are lying to us and they're telling us the truth. I'm just trying to come up with logical reasons here as to why CNN and their pretend friends in the mainstream media think they can lie and get away with it. I mean, this is absurd. This is the equivalent of calling a flaming ass fire a lovely playground. It's the equivalent of calling the WNBA professional basketball or calling Joy Reid's broom a reliable form of transportation. Over the weekend, there's been some problems in Los Angeles and Southern California. Now, the media is describing the situation as social unrest or peaceful protest. The rest of us normal people are calling it riots. I don't know about you guys, but when I see innocent cars burning in the middle of the street, I don't refer to that as peaceful. The unrest started this weekend because people here illegally, or as the media prefers to call them, upstanding citizens who forgot their IDs as well as their names. The anger and the bitterness, it started this weekend when the Trumper fulfilled a campaign promise. The Trumper did exactly what he said he was going to do. I know this is a foreign concept for most politicians, but the Trumper, he promised to deport people who are here illegally, and that is exactly what he is doing. Over the weekend, immigration agents were reportedly raiding locations in Paramount, California. Now, according to Peggy Lemons, the mayor of Paramount, the agents were simply staging and not conducting a raid, whatever the hell that means. Either way, the presence of ICE agents caused a grassroots protest. When the wannabe dictator, the governor of the People's Republic of California, Gavin Newsom, decided not to do a damn thing about it, the Trumper decided to take action. Donnie deployed 2,000 troops from the California National Guard and told them to handle the situation. Now, according to Gavin Newsom, this is outrageous! The Orange Man's trying to do my job! He's taken over the California National Guard! I'm sure citizens of the People's Republic wish that sentence ended at California. Donnie is taking over California. But unfortunately, that's just not the way our constitutional republic works. The streets of the People's Republic have been littered with smoke this weekend from burning car bonfires from the protesters or tear gas from Donnie's troops. There are plenty of words that could be used to describe the situation. Unfortunate, absurd. It is absurd that people are protesting the enforcement of the law. Maybe some would call the lack of response from Gavin Newsom incompetent, lazy. There are plenty of words to describe what's happened this weekend, but I can't imagine most people would describe it as peaceful. Unless, of course, you're a woke welfare collector in the mainstream media. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Sure, some of you guys noticed the change of scenery behind me. The floating shelves are no more. They have been laid to rest in my front yard, waiting for the dump divers and the WNBA to come by and collect them. My wife was generous enough to let me use the shelves that we had up in our living room. Of course, now I've got to buy her some new shelves, but she was also instrumental in helping me get everything set up yesterday afternoon. If not for her, I would still be sitting at the kitchen table in front of those hideous curtains. Sure, some of you guys who have been following me for years remember those. But anyway, the riots in the People's Republic. It was one of the leading stories throughout the weekend. Unfortunately for Simone Biles, it was not enough to overshadow her hypocrisy. But the illegal citizens of the People's Republic, they tried their best to direct attention away from Simone. Naturally, the mainstream media has been covering the situation in California. And by covering, I mean they've been lying. 5 years ago, CNN was disgraced when one of their reporters was standing in front of a burning building describing it as a peaceful protest. This was during the BLM riots in the summer of 2020, which the media described as the summer of woke love. At the time, CNN's ratings were the highest they had been in years. The primetime duo of Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C! The primetime duo of Donnie and Chrissy elevated CNN to the #1 spot in cable news. Eventually, though, their audience began to pick up on the fact that they were being lied to. CNN went from averaging over 1 million viewers in prime time to barely drawing flies to a fresh turd. Now, with that being the case, you would think CNN would have learned their lesson. What's happening right now in the People's Republic, it gives CNN the perfect opportunity to restore their credibility. It gives CNN the chance to accurately report the news without polishing the turd. But unfortunately, CNN just can't seem to help themselves. Here are a couple of clips of how CNN described the riots. And it's not just CNN. Their pretend friends at ABC News, they did the exact same thing. Watch it for yourself.
Most of those demonstrations were very peaceful. They were chanting, they were shouting. People were driving by, honking their horns. And again, they were expressing their anger about the detention of so many immigrants.
This has been very peaceful, Brian. It has been tense at some points, but we haven't seen any violence.
There's unrest. Let's start with there's protest. Lawful protest, which is allowed in this country. There is some unrest.
Some unrest? Some unrest? There are ICE agents being attacked. There are literally cars burning in the street while people surround them waving the Mexican flag. If you're proud to be from Mexico and you're upset with the laws here, then why in the hell would you choose to live here? And why does the mainstream media continue covering for them? It's not just the media disguising the truth. It seems the LAPD is as well. Last night, the Los Angeles Police Department issued a statement. Demonstrations across the city of Los Angeles remain peaceful today. We commend all of you who exercised your First Amendment rights. This is America! Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes! No wonder the Trumper had to call in the National Guard. City of Los Angeles refuses to do a damn thing about it. According to reports, there's an estimated 2 million people living in the People's Republic illegally. 2 million! And that's just the ones they know about. The People's Republic has been completely taken over. And one of the reasons it's been taken over is because their leaders won't do a damn thing about it. Gavin Newsom, he refuses to do shit. The mayor of Los Angeles, Carol Banks. But my name is Karen Bass.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
She's not doing a damn thing about it. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if she was on another vacation. Someone had to do something, and the Trumper decided to act because no one else will. If you have never been to California, it's hard to understand how beautiful the state really is. Los Angeles is an amazing city. San Francisco, one of my favorite cities in the country. Weather in San Francisco is incredible. Hell, the weather throughout the Pacific Northwest is incredible. If it weren't for the incompetent leadership, that's where I would choose to live. I cannot stand the summers down here in the deep south. I'm sick of this shit. I'm tired of waking up to relentless heat and humidity 4 months out of the year, not to mention the bugs, the pollen, the constant headaches. From June through, I would say, around mid-September, it is absolutely miserable down here. But I would rather tolerate the heat than be forced to live with lawlessness. I would rather be miserable for 4 months than be miserable for 12 months. I don't know how people in California continue to put up with it. You're basically hopeless. Nothing ever changes because leadership never changes. Once Gavin Newsom leaves office, there will be someone probably worse to replace him. There are 40 million people living in California. Once you include the 2 million living there illegally, 42 million. Now, I'm assuming the 2 million people are allowed to vote. Gabby doesn't enforce immigration laws, so why in the hell would he enforce voter laws? With 2 million potential votes, it's damn near impossible for conservatives to take back the state. California's lost. It is over. If you want to know what America would look like with Gavin Newsom as president, just look at California. Earlier this year, it seemed like Gavin Newsom was trying to appeal to normal people. He was softly criticizing men and women's sports. He was speaking with conservative influencers, but it was nothing but pandering. Don't look at his words. Look at his actions. If Gavin Newsom can't handle riots in one city, how would he react if he was president and it was happening all over the country? You got to remember, all of this is happening because Donald Trump is enforcing the law. There is no police brutality here. This isn't another George Floyd situation. Gabby and Lieutenant Karen, they're upset because for the first time in years, someone is enforcing the law in the People's Republic. But give me your thoughts on this. CNN and their pretend friends in the media claim the protests are peaceful in California. Now, in their defense, maybe they used the statement from the LAPD as their script. But why is this happening? And why hasn't Gavin Newsom tried to stop it? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.